Hello and welcome back Tech. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make this very beautiful and very mesmerizing magic potion bottle with using a WS2812 Neopixles, an Arduino Nano, and this magic potion bottle. Let's get started. And these are the items you're going to need to make for this project. The items you're going to need: an Arduino Nano, a slide switch, a 9-volt battery connector, a 9-volt battery, a push button switch, some connectors that has a male and female connector which will connect to the pins of the Arduino Nano, and you're also going to need 8 WS2812 Neopixles. And you're also going to need this housing, and this housing that I found is a very interesting housing because you can be able to place all of the electronics inside. You're also going to need this very interesting bottle, and this was actually an old whiskey bottle that I found. It has a cork in it, which makes it look like a magic potion bottle, and the shape of the glass is very interesting. So this will make a perfect item to use for a project. First, I'm going to start with these Neopixles. And what I want to do is cut off 1 Neopixel per strand. So that way I have a row of 3, then a row of 2, then a row of 3. Doing this will allow it to disperse the light evenly inside the bottle. Next, I'm going to solder 10 each of the leads. And there we go, should look just like this. Next, I'm going to take these 2 Neopixels and solder bridge them together. I want to make sure the 2 grounds are connected, the 2 data pins are connected, and the 2 5-volt pins are connected. And of course, respect the direction of the arrows because that's the direction that the current will flow. Next, what I need to do is remelt the solder and press it down so it's more flush. There, as you can see, it's more nice and even. That's a lot better. Next, I'm going to place them on top of the housing and make a little mark where the center of the Neopixels are going to be, so that way I have an idea of where I'm going to drill some holes inside of the housing. These will be my reference points. Next, I'm going to take the stepper drill and drill some holes. And there we go, the size of the holes is just right. Make some adjustments to make them a little bigger. And there, perfect. Next, make a test to make sure that the Neopixels are aligned properly. And there, it looks perfect. Yes, everything is aligned properly. Even the one with the 2 holes. Perfect. Next, I'm going to make a mark where I'm going to put the slide switch and the push button switch. Take the stepper drill and drill out 2 holes. And there, as you can see, it's a perfect fit. Next, drill out a hole for the slide switch. This one's a little bit more tricky. Make 1 hole and then take a knife and carve out the hole to make a rectangle hole. And there we go, perfect fit. Little tight, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to take the Neopixels and make sure they're on top of the holes perfectly, so that way I know how long the wires need to be. Take my wires, modify these because these connectors I don't need, and what I'm going to do is take these 3 wires and connect it to the ground, data, and 5 volts. And the opposite end is the female connectors, which will connect directly to the Arduino Nano. Next, take some wires and link the Neopixels together. Next, I'm going to take these 3 input wires and connect 1 to ground, data, and 5 volts. All the input connections are now connected, and there, all of the Neopixels are now wired together. Next, take a little bit of super glue and place it inside the housing so that way I can glue in the neopixels. Place the first neopixel into place. Hold it into place nice and firm, spray some activator, and there, stays in place. There is one thing I need to warn you, you have to be careful when you're doing it by hand, because as you can see, my finger is stuck to the glue, and I glued the neopixels to myself, not to the housing. This is gonna hurt. You must be very careful when you're using super glue. Okay, after I pulled it off and it hurts, luckily I didn't pull the skin off, so I'm okay. But this time I'm going to be more careful and I'm going to do it a little different this time. Hold the neopixels into place and put the glue on the opposite side, less risk of gluing my fingers to it. Spray some activator and carefully do the same thing. And there, my fingers didn't stick to the neopixels, and all of the neopixels are now glued into place. And it is nice and flush. The bottle will not disturb the LEDs, and the LEDs are just underneath the housing. Next, I'm going to take these wires and connect it to the Arduino Nano. Next, I'm going to take these female wire connectors and connect it to the Arduino Nano. Place them over here on this end, where it connects to VIN, or voltage input, ground, 5 volts. This wire here is the 5 volt. This wire here is the reset wire. I don't need the reset wire, so I'm going to remove this wire. And as you can see, the remaining 2 wires is the black wire, which is connected to ground, and the yellow wire is connected to VIN, or voltage input. Next, I'm going to take the 9-volt battery clip and connect it to those 2 wires. The positive wire connects to the yellow wire, which is voltage input, and the 2 black wires connects to ground. Solder them together. Take the shrink tube and cover it so that way it stays insulated. Shrink the tube, and there, the 5 volts is now ready. And now take the 9-volt battery clip, connect the positive to the yellow wire, and the black wire to the other black wire, which is connected to ground. Repeat the same process with the shrink tube. And there, everything is now insulated. And now, the 9-volt battery clip is now ready for this circuit. Reconnect it, and there, this part of the circuit is now complete. Do a quick test to turn it on to see if it turns on, and there, the LED turns on, which means it works. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this wire here, which is connected to the ground of the neopixels, and I'm going to go and attach it, connect this ground to the ground of the switch, which is right here, although it doesn't really matter polarity, but I'm going to take the negative wire from the neopixels and take this female connector wire. I want to connect all 3 wires together. Solder these 2 wires together and solder it to the push button switch. And there, all 3 wires are now connected. And I'll take the shrink tube to cover it and to keep it insulated. And now shrink it. And there, those wires are now ready. And there, those wires are now ready. And now that wire can connect to ground of the Arduino Nano. Next, take another female connector wire and connect it to the remaining wire of the push button switch. Move the shrink tube over, insulate it, and there, connect it to data 2. And now it's time to test it out. Connect the 9-volt battery to the circuit, and there, it turns on. And now take the push button switch, look at the LEDs, push the button, and the LEDs turns red, green, blue, white. Couple pushes and it turns into multicolor, or rainbow. Next, I'm going to take the push button switch and place it into that one hole. Use some hot glue and glue it into place. Wait for it to solidify. Add some more hot glue so the glue stays into place, which will make it easier to push the switch. And there, it is nice and firm. Pushing the button, it doesn't move. Perfect. Next, I'm going to take some neodymium magnets and place it onto the 9-volt battery. And there we go. Next, I'm going to take some hot glue and place a little bit of hot glue on top of the neodymium magnets. And now glue the battery into place with the neodymium magnets. Wait for the glue to solidify. And now you can be able to pull the battery off and the magnets remain. And with the remaining magnets, you can change the battery for a new one and it'll just stick right there and stay in place. Next, reconnect the 9-volt battery, put it back inside the housing, and now I'm going to take the positive wire and figure out its length. And now I'm going to cut the wire, remove the insulation, solder tenets, and now solder those 2 wires to the slide switch. And now I can turn the switch on and off, which will allow the circuit to turn on and off. Next, I'm going to take the switch, put it through the rectangle hole, add some hot glue to glue it into place, and to insulate the wires. Put it in place. And there, it is now glued into place. And there, the circuit is now complete. Now I'm going to go ahead and close up the housing. One more final touch, I'm going to take a little bit of super glue to glue the slide switch into place better. And there we go, it is in, nice and secure. And now I can turn on the circuit, push the button, and it works. And now it's time to work on the bottle. I have right here some cornstarch, and I'm going to put some cornstarch inside of the bottle along with water, and this combo is perfect because it allows the water to become a little murky and will allow the LED light to disperse more evenly. Put a little bit of cornstarch. However, in my opinion, I think I might have put too much. Put the lid back on. Shake the bottle. And there, as you can see, the water is now cloudy, which means the LED light can now disperse evenly, which will make the whole entire bottle glow. Now, let's go ahead and test it out. Push the button, and as you can see, the whole thing is glowing. Ah, this looks very nice. Yeah, this looks very, very nice. I absolutely like this. Now, let's see how this looks in the dark. Ah, as you can see, this looks amazing, very mesmerizing, and very relaxing. I absolutely love this. Wow, this is so beautiful. Ooh, the green looks nice too. And so does the blue. The blue looks very nice. And the white looks good too. And the rainbow mode looks very nice. And there you have it. Now you know how to make your very own Neopixle RGB LED magic potion bottle with using an Arduino Nano. This device is perfect to use as a Halloween prop, which looks very nice and very spooky. Thank you for watching SciTi Tech. I hope you learned something new, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course click on the bell icon to be notified for future SciTi Tech videos. Till the next tech, goodbye, and happy Halloween.